right, friends, so I have a little bit of an organizational project that I am going to be doing today. I'm going to be going through my color bins, and I'll tell you why. So historically, I would keep everything that was dimensional in here that was not part of a collection. I have one of these for different color families. This one happens to be yellow and orange. I got these. These are by a brand called Snapware, which they snap together. I bought two separate of these. They come in like 3 or 4 drawer configurations, some deeper, some a little bit more shallow, a little less shallow, I should say. And I took those apart and I just kept it just as one, basically like one tower. So I've used it for these types of dimensional things, but over the years, because my my embellishment notebooks, my die cut folders, notebooks that you may have seen in previous videos, had gotten so full, I had started to put stuff in here that just I didn't have the room for, or to be honest, sometimes probably if I was too lazy to put it anywhere else, they made their way in here. So I'm going to be going through these, specifically looking for those flat embellishments and putting them off to the side so that I can then put them into the notebooks that they belong in, if that makes sense. All right, so we're gonna go color by color here. I may end up fast forwarding and then doing a voiceover, but let's get going with and see what we find. It's been a while too since I went through these. So I know I just recently organized my enamel dots, so those are good. You see things, little things like this, I just didn't have the room for. Tickets, these, those are dimensional, so I will keep those in there. I may have to start like something for like these stamps. Do I want to bring them out? These are easy because those are tickets. These cameras, more tickets. This is fabric. All right, let's not deal with those tickets just yet. Those tickets, those tickets and stamps. So these are much easier. You see, it's like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. I've got things stuck on here. What is this? More tickets again, and I'm not going through them right now to get rid of stuff. I just want, yeah, that's way too many. I need to destash those. Another camera, more of those tickets, more of those cameras. Yeah, we're holding on to stuff. This is chipboard. I should move this to, is this chipboard? No. That's why it's in here. It's not chipboard. See, these are the things that would be getting, oh, sorry. Those are the things that are flat and I can move because I'm more apt to use them if I see them. Okay. And they were just getting mangled in other organizational areas here that I have in my space. Again, I'm not looking at it. Here's more chipboard. This is chipboard. Let's be sure of that. Oh, look, here's some very usable pieces, and I don't know why they're in here. So, if truth be told, many, many years ago when I started these color bins, I used to keep even my die cuts in here till it, oh, look, I can use this for my Italy trip. Okay, put that there. See, I wouldn't have even seen it if it wasn't in here, if I wasn't in here looking. Okay, there's this. Oh, here's another lemon. I'm sorry, I'm crinkling some of them, but there's no other way. Here's another little arrow. It's all right. Come on. Oh, these little ones are. You know what I'm gonna get is my little all right, I think that's good. These are, even though they're thin, I wonder if I should put these in my labels. I'm gonna put these in my labels. So I don't think I would go in here to look for things like that. Oh, something's in here. That was part of an alpha. All right, I think we've got all of the flat stuff out of here for now. All right, so let's put these back. So I've got chipboard. I've got, these is gonna go in my labels, and those I'm gonna put to use. Uh-oh, I felt something. Okay, no, we're good. That's one done. Okay, let's go to the next one. This one is my red bin. See right away, like there was just no room for these. And so as you can imagine, they're not getting used. Oh, here's more flat. Those are those tickets. There's those tickets. Some of these I punched out myself, and I'm less obviously attached to those. Those will be easy to purge before I put them in my binder or notebook. This is chipboard. That needs to go with the chipboard. It's teeny tiny chipboard, but it's chipboard. All right, let's see what's in here. I don't know why I was hanging on to that. Oh, there's a little star. Okay, let's see. Flowers. Oh, here's a ticket hiding. Here's chipboard. Okay, all of these are dimensional otherwise. And I'm going to put those hearts in there. These are also dimensional, so I'm going to throw those in there. And we're done with red. This goes pretty fast. All right, here's clear and white. Yeah, white and clear. I've got some of these frames. I think I'm going to keep these flowers in here. Any of these, I think some of these I obviously punched out myself. You can see I've previously taken them out of something, put them in here, and they're still not getting used. This is clear. I'm going to put that in the flower section. These are going to stay. This, I think I'm going to put, well, I'm going to see how much room I have in that space in my notebook, and then also do a purge. There's more flat stuff. Flat, flat. There's more of those flowers. I just don't reach for them in here. L-O. Is that L-O? L-E-V. Somewhere around here's got to be the O. There it is. Man, these are slippery suckers. Okay. I think everything else, I think these little ones I'm going to keep in here. I put these in a baggie because they get everywhere. I forgot I had these. The bling. I'm going to put these that need to get put away in these sheets at the top that don't have a home. Okay. There are those. And you get the gist, right? So we're going to go through, I'm going to speed up here a little bit. And I'm going to just grab another tray here and keep going through the other different colors. All right, so here you see me shifting over to another bin. I can say now, after this project is done, I think I feel like I um, have cleaned up these drawers to really be a little bit more user friendly. And now I know for sure that lots of the single kind of items, the lump and bumps that are in here, and there are very few flat elements remaining in these bins. There are still some, but I tried to do my best here with making just decisions, things that like I know for sure that are um I can either punch out myself, like those things I have hoarded for a really long time, and I really I'm like I don't even use them. They're taking up space. They're not organized. When I've taken classes, I've just kind of thrown stuff in here that didn't belong with collections. Some of these items have been here for a really, really long time. Um, and with some stuff, it's easier to part with. With some stuff, it's much harder. Things I know, like, will I ever look for this here? Chances are probably not. That is, I kind of use that mentality for the chipboard. All of these little pieces, like, I would never even think of using these. I don't know what possessed me, where they're even from, and what possessed me to keep them. So, for that reason, they are leaving my space. I'm not even putting them in the chipboard. Mm-mm. Um, so I feel like this is a little bit more tidy. I will get to those kind of loose enamel dots. And once I finish that part of it, I don't think I do that I don't think I filmed that portion. But now when I go to these, it feels so much cleaner, if that's probably the best way. It's just, I'm going in there with a purpose. The other thing I've been thinking about is removing some of the twine out of there. Um, but I haven't done that yet. So, I may just throw them all in a jar, um, and call it good, but I haven't made that step yet. I need to think about that one some more. I'm typically not someone that needs to have all of my supplies visible. That actually doesn't doesn't go with my personality or my organization. But it would be nice. The reason I've been thinking about it is because I think it would be nice for situations when I'm just looking for all of my twine, and to just pick the best color that would complement my layout, as opposed to um, having a color twine in mind. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I'm still thinking about that though. I haven't I haven't executed that organizational project. So here I am finishing up the gray and black bin. And like I said, it does take a little bit of time, but it becomes much easier. I'm going to come live now. All right, so here is the flat embellishments that I have taken out of those bins. This, let me just, ooh, a couple of them have fallen, sorry. Let me just pick these up. These items I'm going to go through, but they're all chipboard that need to go into my little chipboard folder. It's not that big, so I just need to go through these and really be critical about looking at the ones that I could use, may use, and then just destash the rest. I have pulled these from the bins as well, because these also I need to cut these apart and need to put them in my labels. These will also go into the labels, and then these will go into my little bin for envelopes and tags. So I wasn't going to pull the envelopes, but I decided to kind of a little bit after I started. So it is what it is. So let me go through these, and I'm going to just take a look at what I have and pull a little baggie so I can destash. And I have my garbage too, if there's anything that's just, I don't think anybody would want. Look at this flare. I did find, this happened to many of my flares. Look at all the brown spots. So sad. I had to pitch like 1.5 handfuls, and I very rarely bought these, so they're from all different places, but I used to get them in kits and things all the time. So yeah, take a look at your flare, friends. Okay guys, so I have my notebook here. This is for my color die cuts. They're all labeled. I think I've shown you guys in my organizational videos. This is the binder for my chipboard. So I need to get a baggie, but I'm gonna go through these rapid fire. I've got my my little bucket here of garbage, and I don't know if this is going to be big enough, but I'm going to try to put anything that I'm going to purge in this one. So let me just move those over. All right, so that you guys can see, and we're not going to think about this too much. So this, I die cut myself, you can tell. No. These, I can absolutely keep some of these. I don't have a ton of cameras. Oh, I think I cut some of these down already. Hold on. No, I didn't. I have a ton of these. I don't need this many. All right, so let's do a cluster. Usually has 3, right? So let's keep 6, 2, 3, and this is from a cut apart paper. So I fussy cut those myself. We'll keep these. I don't really care for this color. Oof. So we'll purge those. That is okay, just okay. I will keep these tickets, but do I need this many? Probably not. I will keep 3. Oh, they keep falling into the next. Okay, that's green. These tickets, I do like these tickets, and there's not that many of them. Really, I'm only going to be able to salvage 2, max 3 if I only use this part of it. So we'll keep those. So that is what I'm keeping from the green. Okay, this is multicolor, so that I'm keeping that frame. I just divided them with little pieces of paper. So let's go in here. I do like these tickets, so those will go in there. This is even in the wrong section. Let's put that over there. I do like this neutral card. I do need to go through these. Why? I don't use brown stars very often, so I am going to get rid of these. I punched those out myself. Now, this might be a little hard. These are my little hearts. I am going to keep the gold ones, but I do see that there are these bigger ones. I punched out myself. I'm getting rid of it. That one with a little bit more embellishment I will keep. That one can go. I don't use it. This one, these two I will keep. I'll put them over there. This other big one, same, I'll get rid of. A lot of these I will punch out. And, okay, I think that's good. I think we got rid of all of the larger ones that had that wood grain that I will never use. It's fine if I'm in the moment and I'm using it and I want to punch a heart shape from wood grain and use it right then and there. But with these, I just don't. The ones that I just purged. But these, I love to have on hand. It's just been a little while since I've used them. Okay. All right. Is there one here? Oh, no. Kept seeing this one. The tricky part with this is that I'm not putting these in my color notebooks. I have to have a place where I think I can think of a place. All right. I don't think I would use those. These I do like. These I punched out myself. I don't think I'm going to keep them. Same for these. Sometimes you do need these dark teals. Is this one more I punched myself? And I do like those colors. So those will go into my notebook. So I do like that. This is going to go into my butterfly section. I don't care for those. I do like those tickets. We'll keep those tickets. These I'm gonna purge. I punched them out myself and I have not used them. Purple, I like those. Pink, my pink and purple are together. These I fussy cut. I don't use them. They're not very usable. I gotta keep that in mind when I am keeping stuff. All right, that will keep. That looks like washi, doesn't it? Okay. I like those. I like these tickets. Wait. I thought I just kept some. The purple ones I'm definitely going to keep because purple is just so hard to come by. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, those two will go. I'll keep these. Same thing with this. Same issue with the hearts. I am going to take this big heart out of here. Where did I put them? Oh, I think I just put them over here. Okay. And then these are the little hearts. That's good. And then these tickets I'm keeping. Those are the blues. So these I punched out myself. I do like this. I'm going to get rid of that. And I keep a couple of those, give some of those that can go. I think I punched that out myself. These fussy cut. And okay, there's that bin. All right, so let's fast forward and I'm going to go through the rest of them. Okay, so now what I'm doing is I've shifted over to go through each of the color families, and I'm going to be making some decisions here on what I want to keep, what I am likely to use, and what I still like, and things that I either want to give to friends, and things that I don't think anyone would want. And so that's going in the gray bin. It's more like a recyclable, things to be recycled. Um, so this process, I will say, went um, a little bit. This is 4 times the speed, just so you know. Still quite slow here because I am. Some things are much easier. Like I don't need a gazillion of these cameras, but I can put them in 3 clusters and times 2, and then I'm good. I'm good. And I also am also recently familiar with the number of um, the amount of room, I should say, that I have in my category. So I have a specific categories for themed die cuts, and I know I have room in the cameras. So for that reason, I don't mind keeping 6 versus 3, if you will. And then the rest I'm just going to give to my friends. Yep, there it goes. Um, and then so you'll see me moving through these tiny ones. Again, they're things I cut, fussy cut. Yeah, I don't know why I fussy cut so many. I think I was like, oh, but I can't throw away the piece of paper or whatever it was. And yeah, I ended up fussy cutting all of those. But my friends will hopefully be able to use them, finish up their clusters, what have you. They've been in my stash for a long time, and having or being in those bins, they're just not getting used. Um, and then I'm going to go through all of those there, um, using kind of the same thing. What would I use? What would I not use? And what am I likely to, um, you know, um, that still has life left that people would, folks that are in our hobby may want to use. Um, I these tab punch outs, those are from previous kits that I've just held on to, and I don't know why I've held on to them for this long. Some of them are just in colors that I would never use. And then there are some, though, that are very usable, but clearly they're not getting used by just being in my color bins. So I've just had to tweak that. Historically, I also haven't had a lot of room in my color notebooks or binders. And so this is the other reason why I kept these color items in the color bins. It's just because I just didn't have the space in that area. But now where I've shifted some of those things, it's much easier for sure. It's much easier to organize these extra bits that I think, in my opinion only, are much more usable. Um, so we are, I think the things that are a little bit more neutral are a little bit harder for me to use. Um, but like these, I had the hardest time with the white because, again, I can color them, I can do all kinds of things, but do I do it? No. Um, I have moved a few of them over to my Project Life cards just to see, not that I use my Project Life cards all that much, but I have thought of a series that I am contemplating on doing, um, and where these types of categories like Project Life cards comes into play. So stay tuned. I do hope that you are enjoying these organizational videos, um, and that if you are here for the first time, my friend, that you will consider um, subscribing to my channel, because there is lots more. I do a series of um, different videos with layout shares, different um, projects and challenges that I participate in with friends. Some of them are, obviously I do some layout shares as well after I finish um, projects monthly, depending on the amount. I do quite love doing kit share videos, so where I put together page kits from my stash. Um, so I do hope that you guys will have been enjoying the content if you are a subscriber, but also will consider subscribing if you are new to my channel. All right, so here I have finished the die cuts and all of the colors, and now I have moved to the chipboard. I did find that there were a bunch of these sheets of, these are some old Teresa Collins labels. They used to come in like one of those little like tiny pads, and so I do have a place for my labels, but because these were assorted, meaning there was more than one color on each sheet, I did not put them away properly. And so now I'm taking the time to separate the colors. There's black, and then there's a variety of different ones with gold. So we're separating those out, and we're going to put them away the proper way in the labels section. Um, if you are a label lover, I can't remember if I am going to come here and I'm going to show you how I store my labels. I am a label lover for sure, and I really enjoy um, using them. I need to make a more concerted effort to put them as part of my kits. Um, but here they are separated. I think I am going to pull it in here. Yes, here they are. These are flat storage cases. These are from the Dollar Tree. Now, we're talking 2020. These came out that I remember, and they were marketed to store your masks. That's how they were labeled. But somebody in our community put up some information, either in a Facebook group or a YouTube video, I can't remember which, that they were storing some small items in here. And I thought, my labels, but because before this, I can't even remember where they were stored. But it was not this tidy for sure. And they're super flat, so they really stack nicely. And I have enjoyed having them that way. They're really portable, which I love. Um, oh, so this is a bin that kind of just sits on either my desk or my rolling cart at the top. And this has extra supplies, just things, one-offs of things that I it didn't use at the crop, which was the last time I used this, or things that my friends have gifted me that I want to make sure I use. So I'm just cleaning this up because really only certain things should be in this bin. And so now I'm just putting things back so that things are a little bit tidier in there. And I'm moving over to the chipboard. The chipboard is relatively easy. I have a very thin, about a 1-inch binder. where I have just used page protectors. I've used a sheet of cardstock and I've covered them with wax paper just to be able to adhere my chipboard really easily. In some of the sheets, I have put the wax paper in front and back, and so I can use both sides very easily. And I will tell you, this has changed the way I use chipboard. I still don't gravitate to it a ton, but when I am, particularly when I'm making kits not from collections, I do tend to gravitate to my other embellishments because of the need. And so I have gone through and used up a number of things from my chipboard album, probably a lot more than the previous ways I had been storing them. I had purged my chipboard quite a while back and was just trying to figure out what exactly how I wanted to store them going forward. And this is not anything new. There are many folks that use this method in a variety of different ways. Some people use it by theme and then they put their themed die cuts kind of in the same binder. Um, I have found that I just like it this way for now. I may shift at some point, but for right now, this is working for me, and hopefully, I will get more use of the different things that I have here in my stash. Um, that I have found in those color bins that were just sitting there, and where I'm not really able to use them, or haven't been using them. What I'm using for adhesive is just it's just a dot roller from that I purchased on Amazon. It is the name of it, in case you guys are wondering, you get a lot more. Um, it is a dot liner. It's Kokuyo. It's Kokuyo. You get 36 meters, so you do get a lot in these refills. They last me forever. It is not my main source of adhesive, but I love it. I love it because it does not run out. My other tape runners would just run out really quickly. I do tend to use this a lot more when I'm doing Project Life, any kind of pocket page, just because it's a little bit smaller. I'm working on a smaller canvas, but it works absolutely wonderfully on these die cuts and the chipboard as well. So if you're interested in a small, um, excuse me, adhesive that can be refillable and you just buy the refills, this is a great, I can't tell if it's Japanese or Chinese. I'm not 100% sure. And it doesn't say. All right. Um, let's see. So now I'm going through and I am placing the color items. This is how I have my colored notebooks. This is by color, so not themed. And this is how I just organize my different die cuts and different things when I want to pull in different items into kits that don't have embellishments. This is how I just go ahead and do it. I just grab this one notebook and I will try to make sure to have, if you're interested in other organizational videos, I will try to have my playlist linked at the end just so that you guys can hopefully, if you're looking for a particular storage solution or just some ideas about storing things, um, you can find that in the playlist. It goes back quite a bit. I think I've been doing this for probably close to 5 years at this point, maybe a little over. And yeah, it's been working. I've evolved and have tried to make things, sometimes I try stuff out and it doesn't work, and then I have to modify. But for the most part, I've had some very similar systems um, continuously throughout the last few years. It's just been tweaking and refining, really. Um, but really trying to also just use what I have in my stash and not necessarily always going to purchase. That's the other. I love a good container. I do. It's really hard for me not to buy containers. Um, so every once in a while, though, I will go ahead and I will shift things in my room, and so I need different containers. But what I try to do is just to keep it fresh. Every once in a while, I will do a tidy up of my space, and I will replace some of the, not replace, but uh, recycle, if that's a word. Like, just bring in things I already have in my stash, but just so that they look different in my space. I don't know if that makes sense. Um, but sometimes just making minor modifications. Um, I've done that since I was like a little girl, just changing things in my room, in my space, um, just having things in a neat and orderly way, so that a, a lot of chaos and um, a lot of product, for our hobby, um, makes me a little like having too much. That's just me, having too much, too many things either on my desk, whether it's for play or professionally. Like, that's just not me. I have to kind of have a clean surface to work on as I'm working on things. And then I transition and I move on and I clean up, usually after myself. And then I start on the next project in that way. Um, it hasn't always been that way, but I find for myself that I work just better that way. Um, so you see me tidying up here the orange section, and some of these, obviously, if they're themed, and I know my categories, they're going to go into the themed content here in a sec. Yeah, but I'm trying. I'm trying. I need to make a more concerted effort um, to make sure that I'm putting things away when I come back from my scrapbooking retreats, for sure. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and watching and doing some organizing. And hopefully it's inspired you to do some crafty things in your space. Until next time, guys, bye for now.